Dr. Saz, I have a question for you. The question is, as someone who has faced adversity, how did you rise through it to get to where you are now? And what practical tips can you share for someone dealing with adversity and setbacks?
All right. Thank you, Steph, great work you're doing. UR3 is growing bigger and bigger. Well done. All right. Please, it's good to give her a round of applause. And thank you to everyone that stayed back till now. Some will be wondering what she's referring to by that someone has gone through adversity, because sometimes we use that word anyhow. So I'll just quickly say that. Mine might not be as strong as some here, but this man that you're seeing before you now, that in the past 8 or 9 years has worked. I think if I'm to track the number of people who I've worked with or at our center, I don't think from depression, anxiety to suicide cases, I don't think it can be less than 600 in the last 8 or 9 years that we have successfully worked with. But what most don't know is that I also, at a point in my life, I was sinking in depression. So I happened to be, maybe accidentally, start business. I started business quite early while I was in medical school. So that by the time I finished, I graduated at 23. By the time I was doing my asthmatic, I was importing laptops from US. I was also doing a bit of fashion business. However, a friend and a cousin introduced me to a business in Lagos. I was in FMC Abeokuta then. And because I saw the juiciness of the profits, I diverted all the money from the laptop business, the fashion business, and moved it into this business. And it was a waste management business, and we got trucks, 3 trucks. We were running it. And the principle then, or policy then, is you won't get paid until 3rd month. So we're paying the packers, the supervisor, the driver, fuel in the trucks. By 3rd month, end of 3rd month, we expected to be paid, only for them not to find the name of our company on the list. So pushing, we felt that they promised us, by the way, that they will sort it, just keep working. By hoping against all hope, we continued working 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, hoping that money will come, until the 9th month that they gave us the categorical reality that it's not possible. So all the money wasted. To make matters worse, that was when Governor Fashola now changed the kind of truck you can use for waste management in Lagos, from open truck to compactor, meaning that the 3 open trucks became then useless. We had to sell them as scraps. So I was from here, crashed down to here. And mind you, not only my money in the business. So, for 8 months of my life, you dare not talk to me about God. I didn't enter any church, and I'm a son of a pastor. But then, as a matter of fact, even though I'm a medical doctor, I didn't realize it was depression. I didn't realize. If not for certain things that happened, perhaps we'll have reached a point of no return. So, I will share from what happened and change the trajectory. The first thing that happened is that I had to call myself to order. I had to pause. So my head was conjuring up all manners of imaginations. If this person that invested money, take it to court, imagine a old doctor, son of a pastor, being jailed, going to prison, all manners of imaginations. Please, wherever you are going through, the first thing you must do, stop drawing conclusions based on your imaginations. Yeah. You are not limited by your imagination. As a matter of fact, psychologists will tell you that 80 to 90% of worries don't eventually materialize. Check your life in the last 10 years. Track your top 10 worries. Most likely, 8 to 9 out of those 10 never materialized. That was the time you were worried sick about whether you passed JAM. Because JAM don't jam you. But now you are a graduate. There was a time you were worried sick whether you will heal from a sickness. There was a time you were worried sick whether you will pass an exam, whether you will get a job, whether you will get married, whether you will have a child. But look back, how many of them eventually materialize? It's just your imaginations playing a prank on you. Unfortunately, your imaginations, your thinking, drive your feeling. All right? It's not the situation that determines what you feel. It is your thinking about that situation that determines your feeling. So you must learn to pause. P-A-U-S-E. Pause. You are thinking too much. You are overthinking and you are imagining all manners of things. Just pause. In fact, take a break from that environment. In fact, take a break from social media. In fact, take a break from... Just take a break. Pause. Second thing you must learn, and I'm building this on a model called PARK model that I used to work with a lot of clients. PARK model. P-A-R-K. Learning to park your emotions. The P is pause. A is that you must come back to accepting yourself regardless of the situation. Accepting yourself regardless of the situation. Let me tell you a secret about accepting yourself. Once society can sell to you who you are not, your life goes down from there. Once the society or situation can sell to you who you are not, you failed an exam, the situation is selling to you that you are not good at so feed. Once you accept it, instead of accepting yourself regardless of that situation, you go down from there. And the principle is scriptural, is psychological, is scientific. Is it okay to quote scriptures? Yeah. Okay. The principle is scriptural, is psychological, is scientific. Now, accepting regardless is the interpretation of the Latin word called agape. Right? You know agape, right? A form of love. All right? Now, self-love is all about accepting yourself regardless. The moment you don't accept yourself regardless, something will happen to you. I will show you where it is in the scripture. 1 John chapter 4 verse 8 says, you cannot claim to know God if you don't operate in love. For the nature of God is love. Now, the love there is agape, meaning accepting yourself regardless and accepting others regardless. That's your nature. However, you will step out of your nature into something else once you stop accepting yourself regardless. What are you going to step into? Fear. 1 John 4:18 says, there's no fear in love. Perfect love casts out of fear. That is, once you operate in your nature, Pepe rest, Pepe no rest. This guy stays in my life, or he waka go for my life. Forex rate returns back to one naira to $1, or it keeps escalating. I will not define myself, define my path based on what is happening to me. I will happen to what is happening to me. You are accepting yourself regardless. But once you stop accepting yourself regardless, because of the account balance you think, because of a failure, because of a rejection, you are now beginning to put a label of what happened to you on yourself. You will step into fear. You will step out of the love zone into fear. Fear will drive all your behavior, meaning that you will start reacting and not responding. So you must define your identity not based on what is happening to you, but based on where you believe you are going. And if you want to sound spiritual, based on who God calls you to be. The heart of the park is to reframe. Now, it's your thinking that largely drives your feeling. I always emphasize to people, the moment you keep holding on to the fact that it's your situation that is causing your feeling, you have handed over the power over your mind and emotions into the hands of that situation. But the day or moment you realize that, no, I'm taking back this power. It's not the situation that is the trigger for my feelings. It's actually the way I'm thinking about that situation. You have taken back that power. And it's very possible to do that because you can change the meaning you give to any situation. I've not seen that situation. And I've worked with all manners of clients, from physical assault to sexual abuse to a man that lost his wife. 2022, I worked with a man that in Abuja that lost his 2 children, his house, everything, and his wife in one day to fire incidents. So you can change the meaning you give to any situation, no matter how terrible it is, because no situation in life has one meaning. We give meanings to situations based on how we have been programmed. Once you can get yourself to that point, then you move to the K of keep your attention and action on your goal, not on your feeling. It's animals that are slaves to their feelings. But we humans, our brains evolved to the third stage of brain development. We can choose our action despite our feeling. So even though you wake up, you don't feel like exercising, and you know that exercising is needed, you take action. You pay attention to the goal, not your feeling. The interesting part of it, which is where I will stop, the interesting part of it is this. Even though you are not feeling like it, even though you are feeling tired, the moment your attention focuses on your goal, on the exercise, and you take the first step, the second step, the energy is an energy that follows the action and attention. So the feeling you were not feeling before, you start converting that feeling to the energy for that goal.
Thank you, Dr. Osas. So as you see now, Dr. Osas has finished his full time. I'm not coming back to you again. But that was quite impactful. I hope we got a lot from that. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Osas. Thank you. So learn how to park. When you hear park, don't just think of Nigeria police. Stop, park. Park your emotions, right? And then go through that. Thank you. Tega, is Tega there? Is Tega, let me know when Tega is up. Anita. Oh, you didn't know she was Judith? Now did you know what they call her now? That's so. Okay. Now, this question I'm asking you, as one who, having gone down the path of no return, so you have gone down the path. I thought the path, I didn't go. Okay, you know, just like Aziz said earlier, he was fired. Firing, that thing brings you to your knees, right? And it's worse for me, I didn't know what I did. They said, oh, Stephanie, you are a fantastic HR, one of the best we've ever had, just that you don't fit into our way. And I said, what is your way? And I was never told. That was the worst pain because, you know, my people say, you tell Papa Father Shege, bon shush. So that's why God will punish you. You know why you are being punished. But when you do not know what you did, that was the worst pain that led me down the spiral to the point when I said I wanted to end it. But I thank God that I caught that thought and thought options. You know, Kasha, as you feel and you do, and what do you drink again? Sniper. Mm-hmm. So as having gone down that path, right, having once gone down the path of no return and had a second chance at life, what would you have done differently if the scenarios replayed themselves?
Okay, first of all,
by now you don't suppose to sniper. Me, they know they say that, you know. Maybe not sniper you drink. I'm sorry. Get myself together. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Steph, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. Okay. If those scenarios replay themselves, knowing what I know right now, I wouldn't have tried to end it all. Right? I wouldn't have. And I understand now that the darkest is darkest before dawn.
Yeah.
Now the way the night they tick, now your team say they won't break.
You see, there are some things that you can only say in pidgin English. English cannot do it. As long as you feel, I said, all of you heard it. When you were speaking English, you didn't quite get it.
Enter.
No, exactly.
And a day will never break, now many pass.
Not many pass.
New arrival must turn to sales tomorrow.
That's
Now who first buy motor, buy old model. Life now jeté by jeté. You don't understand. Jeté by jeté me say sumo. If you rush, you go run. When you run, you call use your shoe ground. Everything for this life, na HQ. Everything for this life, na 8 pound. You know, so understanding all these things now, or die na die.
Or die na die. Choose
What
your
for
die.
you?
Because if you don't do, you die. If you do, you die. So just die.
Choose your die.
But wait now. That's because you have it in hindsight. Because you never know what success is. Success is relative.
Yeah.
You only know in retrospect.
Yes.
Good or bad are only known in retrospect.
Yes.
So in the moment, you can't quite tell what is good or bad. So now you say, so for your mind, if it won't happen again, I go tell you, Anita, not kill yourself. Something day for front. You still say you're young.
No, because by that time, I would have built capacity. I didn't understand life at the time. Mind you, I was married with 2 kids. The only thing I knew was, okay, success is when you don't marry, you born 2 children, you get work. I used to work with National Youth Service Corps at the time. and you go to church, and I didn't understand that loving God does not stop you from going through tribulations.
Yeah.
They stone Jesus, who are you?
They slap and weepy.
They use wood, whip it back head. Who are you? You don't understand. So I just feel like if I go to church, I pray morning, afternoon, evening. I used to serve in White House in Living Faith Church. It's toilets. I wash toilets, give people toilet roll. So I feel say I serve God too much. I marry a better man. I get my 2 children. I'm not supposed to see problem. I didn't understand life. And so church need to be held responsible. They don't talk well. And I can't marry my home cell leader. I just must pray. You cannot take Keshuku, you are feeling headache. You'll say you are not feeling headache in Jesus' name. Baba, they feel headache. Who should be you are not feeling headache in Jesus' name. So all those times when the kogi there, go tell you say, let's pray. Nothing able. Let's pray.
Let's pray.
Oh. Go get where kogi there rich. Don't be by prayer. Head full. I weak like dodo where they fry 2 times. You know, so that time, I'm not even hearing the right words to say, okay, you need to speak out. We need to seek professional help. We need to talk to someone. Okay, the people where they owe the money, you carry their seed. That's you say, oh, but this life now, federal government, they owe. All those conversations, all those things never happened, right? So now we are no rich. Husband, we are married, home cell leader. The church where they go say, the evil must not happen to you. If evil happen, a village people. Not because God do not tell myself, so boy, June 6, 2018, I'll not do it again. My daughter could die. You know, so I didn't have to know. So what I needed to was to know all these things. Yeah. I didn't know it at the time. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Please, you see. Hi, Tega, Judith. So this question is for you. Yeah, you got this from that. Interesting, is it? Tega, in your experience as an addict therapist, we had a phenomenal session in the pre-conference yesterday, and I would like you to just share a bit about that experience of your entire journey, right, from addiction into getting out of it as well. So, in your experience as an addict therapist, what leads people to the point of no return?
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here. I wish I was in the room. I really wish I was in the room. To have both my sisters there and Anita, everybody. It's so good to see everyone. I wish I was there, but hey, we just work with what we have for now. Okay, so what I would say is most times is a state of hopelessness and helplessness. And I'll also say a bit of for addiction. If it comes to addiction, I'll say maybe a bit of cowardice as well. Because when people have things that disrupt their lives and they don't know how to handle, some of them would go for substance. And I think it's actually the cowardly way to go. Because you're thinking that, let me escape from this reality, the present reality. Unfortunately, when you come back from your high, you meet your reality waiting for you, sitting pretty, waiting for you. Now, I would say for sure that I was a very intelligent child. Yesterday, Stephanie was talking about how I was a science student, and that's what you call the ethicals. I was in a science class. I was one of the most intelligent girls at the time. I wrote entrance exams into secondary school. I was on the merit list of every school that I applied to go to. I had 591 out of 600, I guess, that year. And so I got 2 scholarships even into secondary school. I was one of those, but I was auditory and learning. All I had to do was be in class and I'll get everything together. I got into secondary school. I didn't know how to handle myself. I didn't know how to handle my social side and handle my academic side. And there was no one paying attention to me. I was just, 11? And I just really was happy. My mom left Nigeria when I was maybe 5 years old. She was, looking for a better life for her family. She had 8 children to cater for with my dad. Unfortunately, my dad was one of those very content men. He was an academic person. He was a vice principal of a school. He didn't want to do more than that. He just felt if you have a roof over your head, there is food on your table, your fees are being paid. He was big on education, thankfully. If all of that is put together for you, you should be worshiping him. My mom was the one that thought, no, we can do more. We can travel. We can wear nice clothes. We can do stuff. So she had to do the extra work because there was no pushing my dad further than where he was. There's no point. So she had to do extra. It wasn't adding up in Nigeria. She left. I felt abandoned. I really felt rejected. So when people talk about the gateways to drug use, I tell people that, family dysfunction is one of them. I felt that that was some form of family dysfunction for me. And that was my interpretation of my family dynamics. It wasn't any form of rejection or abandonment. Because she took me to live with my older sister, who was married at the time. So I was actually I was actually at home regardless. But I didn't think it was that. I just thought that I felt abandoned. Why would you just leave me and up and go like that? So my sister was trying to mold me. And so she would correct me in the way she knew how to. At the time, it appeared like, you're so harsh, you're hitting me constantly. And so I just wanted to be free. So getting into secondary school, boarding school, the same school that Stephanie was in, felt like an escape from, the constant pressures of trying to make me, align, like what we say, resetting your brain. It felt like a lot of pressure. And so I was happy to be out. I have a social side. I can be the life of a party, and I am a very strong, very intelligent person. And so putting that together was not easy for me to manage. And then I have different kinds of friends, pockets of friends everywhere. By the time I got into SS1, I started trying to experiment with smoking and drinking. By the time I got into SS3, now this is me that was one of the best students in my state at the time. I went from that into someone that came out of secondary school with 4 P's and 4 F's. It was a very bad failure. And I couldn't come back. I ran away. I went to stay with my sister in the north, my other sister who was also married. So, I was having the time of my life. She had a boutique, so I was wearing all the trendy clothes, came into the north, speaking all my plenty English and wearing nice clothes. So I was accepted in the small social circle in the north. Unfortunately, the only part that I was excluded from was the substance use. And they didn't even ask me to use it. I was indirectly pressured. And this is where we talk about indirect pressure, is when you see that the things that people are doing, you just want to find yourself doing it. They didn't ask you to. It was personal pressure. I wanted to belong. I wanted to be accepted by these people because it was new to me. And so I started doing things, and I wanted to now overdo what they were doing. And that's how my life spiraled into 13 years of active addiction. I went from that very intelligent child, that child genius, to a child that had to drop out of university. I dropped out of school. I was the child that one day, the house I lived in for quite a while, my landlord said, you have to move out. You're a useless influence on my children. You can't have anything to do with my kids. I was a mess. I started avoiding people because, people couldn't put together who that person was. If you knew me from secondary school, we had secondary school reunions in Abuja, but I couldn't go for any. What would I say I've done with my life? When all of them are talking about the things that they've done, what would I say I've done with my life? And so I did that for 13 years, from age 17, 18 till I turned 30 years old. So many times it is a place of hopelessness, a place of helplessness, a place of confusion. Many people don't know how to be, how to go. And at the time, they think because of the level of conscious awareness that you have at that time, you act based on what you know. And at that time, as a child, it was addiction that appeared like, oh, it's the way to go. You'll be accepted here. And that's how I went into addiction.
Thank you so much, Tega. And I hope this is also a cry to parents that we need to become more present. And Tega's father is, no worry, Tega, your father is a typical Yoruba man. Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing. And it's great to know that she turned that depression, that depth, that state to where she now helps people recover from drug addiction and offer therapy and offer them trauma care. So that is still re-emphasizing that you can turn your pain to purpose. You can turn your pain to power. You can turn your lemons. It doesn't have to be lemonades, because you may not have the skill for lemonade. You may have the skill for lemon banga soup, for lemon cake. You will never know. Just make something, put lemon inside. It's when you taste it, you will know whether it's bad or not. That is the first place of risk. So you will only know when it's not sweet. But make them first, if you know if it's sweet. Anita, I'm coming back to you. Why are you looking at me like Beijing, right? In your experiences, okay, what would you say? Okay, Dr. Sass, Dr. Sass, don't let them say church agbasago upon you. All right, so I'd like you to answer this one really swiftly. We're winding down. Forever is already giving me bad eye. What are some of the life lessons? What life lessons did you particularly learn from all your experience? Can you just wrap that up quickly? What life lessons have you learned from all the things that you went through and that could currently encourage someone?
Okay, so I was just one day I accidentally came across the meaning of disruption, and that changed my orientation. So I discovered that disruption is from a Latin word called disrompe. D-I-S, means apart. Then rompe means to break, meaning that a disruption essentially is when something breaks you apart, breaks your marriage apart, breaks your finance apart. Well, guess what? That same day, I saw the meaning of crisis, and I saw that in Latin, disrompere is actually compared to the Latin word for crisis, which is crise, which means junction. That is, when there's a disruption, there will be a crisis. But the meaning of that crise in Latin is junction. When there's a disruption, you are gotten to a junction in life in which you can either go better or get worse. It's your choice. So that got me to realize that the most important life lesson when there's a disruption is your response.
It's your response. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anita, I'm coming back to you now. What is your, even though you talk about this a little, okay, let me just go to this one. Okay, we're wrapping up now. What words of hope can you give to someone who is struggling with a mental health challenge in a way that it is not only affecting their work, but it's also sending them down the spiral slopes of no return? What word of hope will you give them?
Okay. First of all, seek professional help. Unfortunately, it's very expensive in this part of the world. I really don't know why. But, yeah, it's very expensive. You know, I find money to pay debt. I don't understand. It shouldn't be, it's expensive. But that aside, now give up, now lose. Just imagine that 2080, if I die before, I go there in front of you. No. I would not go. My husband now will call me late wife. They would not give me one small girl now. One small girl. Now, they don't enjoy my husband. Now, what I take for hospital, now wake up! They want to wake up, because 2 different hospitals try to bring me. They say, I don't go. Now, when I call reach Gariki, now I call remember, I say, they go enjoy her. And I even my everything when they back up front. Now, once I say I wake up. Now, who give up, now lose.
Yeah.
Je can't wait. You run some more, you rest some more. Many of us want to live in our future now. If they work like that. Not to worry. Me and my husband just did with a stay 2-bedroom. We get one small Camry and they work for NYSC, they work for Stanbic Bank. Now we just jump like monkey come when they say we need to live better. We work too hard. Now we take jump like monkey at our debt now. If we take a slow before, we for not do where we did. We just did our small salary, they manage ourselves. I should they go one small school. Now we say no, we deserve say they should go big school. Which big school? Accept where you did now. Not me say you did there forever. Yeah. I know how many things when I learn, when I work for it, I don't like the work. When they give me the work, National Chief Service Corps, I used to work with First Group. Now they are cutting me to one man because give me work for National Youth Service Corps. Me so recipes now I don't die. So wait till I learn for that First Group and NYSC. Now I think they do Realwarripikin today. Because if you work for National Youth Service Corps, if you work with corpers, you be like say they work with students. You go no. You don't understand. So that time when they say life just tire me, not till they walk. Why will I be? I'm very intelligent. Why will I be walking here? Why will I be walking here now? I jump like monkey so. As I jump now, I almost die. So take life step by step as it comes. You don't understand? Because you don't get where for still good. If they gather all of us for one table, when we exchange problem, everybody will carry that problem go us. Yes, sir. You wear white native. If I give you my own, you know what take. You know now. Everybody get their problem. Yeah. You don't understand? Your sky is your star. Rock it. Forget all those, somebody was speaking to me, I don't know the person, somebody came to meet me just when I go shop. They tell me, say, how far? Say, get waiting, you want to say, but stigma. Now, maybe stigma now. When I'm born with CS, people judge me for church. Say, you serve God rich, they born with CS. They say, you not join woman. They won't count woman. Anita, you not join.
It's okay.
I do weight loss surgery to save my life. They say, why? Because this part of the world, they're not able to accept all those kind of things. They don't accept CS. Now surgery, they won't accept. Weight loss surgery. So I dey rock my star. I dey rock my scar. They call on stigma, now they know. If they call on shame, now they know. I dey live my life, they go. So just take one day at a time. No rush, you will burn out. As you can't wait, you run some more, you rest. Just they run, everybody run their race, but follow your pace. If you follow your own lane, you can never see traffic. Just they go sumo. The day you want rest, sleep. The day you want cry. Guess I go just there, say Keshuku my shoulder. I don't want to see you now, but I don't call this life because my just day. I'll just drive, go buy big juice. With big shawarma, we get two dog sausage. My shop, man, not die. 2 dog this thing.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for your work. I like that thing, particularly when you said that, because one of the things we tend to do when we go through whatever it is the feelings of shame. There's a lot of shame game, a lot of blame game. I have a mantra, OYS, own your shame. Once you have owned it, no one can use it to shame you anymore. You can't shame the shameless, my brother. So we have to shamelessly progress through life, recognizing that it is my shame. It's not yours, I know. So now take that shame and turn it into power. Turn the light bulb. Evolve from that shame. What can I turn the shame to? Otherwise, shame, you go there bottom table, dog go they shove your food. Tega, this is finally for you. Please, if you say hashtag UR3 Summit, hashtag UR3 2024. How can one balance decisiveness with a thoughtful approach to prevent reaching the point of no return? So this is also the part of making decisions that are progressive. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, it almost contradicts itself because you're trying to make a decision, yet you're supposed to actually be thoughtful about it. But the thing is to be conscious of the fact that your decision will be made based on your present level of awareness of that situation. So a few things to do: assess the urgency of that situation. What do I need to do? Understand the context. What do I need to do right now? If I act immediately, what is going to happen? Is it time sensitive? Access the urgency, because if you take the time for a more thoughtful approach and it's not it's something that is very urgent, you may actually be wasting time in something that you need to do. And then also understand the context of the situation. Go through a thorough understanding of what it is. Consider the potential impact of that decision on various things. Now, I have this girl that I'm mentoring right now. She has 2 kids. Okay, she has the first child out of wedlock and then had the second one with someone who she's not married to. And all of a sudden, he wants her to get out of the way. And then somehow she found herself using substance. The reason she was brought to me was she was going to inject her baby. She was really going through stress and she wanted to inject her baby with some form of substance so the baby could sleep and then she would have some peace. Unfortunately for her, the baby went into a coma because, she shot up heroin up his veins. And so when she came for sessions, we started talking about this and she said she wanted to leave. But I had to tell her, we need to talk about the situation. What must be done now? So you need to assess the urgency of that situation. Consult with others. Consider the consequences. Very importantly, you must consider all the circumstances. Learn from past experiences. I pointed out to her, you've had 1 child out of wedlock. If you leave this one now, you're going to have 2 different children out of wedlock. Is this something you're willing to do? Is this something you are willing to forfeit? Is this something you decide that, look, I'll still stay with him regardless? Weigh your options. Learn from your past experiences. Identify non-negotiables. Very importantly, and most importantly, I ask them to seek a middle ground. Seek a middle ground. Very important, because you never know what it is that will take you off from where you are to where you're going.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please put your hands together for this panel. I trust it's been very, very, very insightful. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you again, Tega, a.k.a. Judith Omogor, a.k.a. Judith Ojanumare. Thank you, Dr. Osas. And it's come to the end of it. Dr. Osas, very quick one. What is that tip? What is that book that you think everybody should read this year?
Go and get my book. Make it my...
Market, say a market.
Train Your Brain for Success is on Amazon by Deji Osasona. You can also... Femi, where are you? Okay, you can see I chronicled 15 different life lessons from real life across the world and also from common nature issues that we are used to or that you can deduce life lessons from in order to change your mindset and habit for success you seek. So train your brain for success.
Thank you, Dr. Osas. Anita, this is another question, so we're ready for this one. What's that thing first thing in the morning what's the practice that you do first thing in the morning that you think everybody should imbibe this year? You teach everything you go writer. That's what
It's in a book. You want to ask me book as your answer now?
No, ask. May I ask book?
She will say Bible, so your question is good.
What is that practice, yes, that you do first thing in the morning that you think it's something that we can take home with
Not
us?
cliche, they say, not to talk to my God.
Even if you're not the talk giver, Abi.
And not God first. Because not God, they call result. Human being go vigilate, but not God will call result. So not God. That God factor, you can never take it away.
Take notes. Human being go invigilate, but not God go call result. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you.
Offering for the
Thank you. Please, a round of applause for the South-South session.